Aku ni. Aku ni yang bagi kuat ni tau. Nanti ganggu lah Sharifah jerit ni. Dah aku nak pergi dulu. Tak cukup lah. Kau nak bagi ni kat dia? Memang ni dia mendengar aku. Ambil aku dengar. Dengar. Ya. Kuat sangat ke biasa? Sekejap ni. Tak tahu tapi ni gayanya macam dia kata dia nak pergi rumah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay. Madam, boleh saya mula sekarang?
Ya, silakan.
Okay, baik Madam. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good morning everybody. Okay, first I would like to welcome you all for today's industry webinar entitled Rubber Product Manufacturing Process, ISO and OSHA Implementation. Okay, today my name is Nur Fatihah binti Ottoman and I will be your moderator for today. I am student diploma in polymer technology. Before we start our program, may I know if you can see and hear as well?
Yes.
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 Okay, alright. Great, thank you. Okay. I'm pleased to introduce our speaker for today, Puan Nafisa binti Muhammad Syuki. She is graduated in Bachelor of Engineering Polymer in Polymer Engineering at University Science Malaysia, and she also graduated in Master Science Research in Polymer Engineering, also University Science Malaysia. She started her career as Quality Engineering Executive (QA) in kumpulan Jepco M Sdn Bhd. Her next career also in same company but as a chemist compounding. Now she is currently the senior R&D engineering in Ampol Precision Products Sdn Bhd. Okay, alright. Without any further ado, I would like to welcome our speaker, Puan Nafisa, to present the topic manufacturing process and testing in molded and extruded rubber parts. Okay, alright, Puan Nafisa, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Fatihah. You
Alright.
guys can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, morning. I'm Nafisa. I'm from Ampol Precision Product Penang. If you can hear Ampol, we are basically in Penang. So I will start my presentations. Okay, hold on. So you can see the slide.
Yes, Puan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So basically, I'm from Ampol Precision Product Sdn Bhd, Penang. So today I will share on the molded and also extruded rubber part, basically on the processing and also testing. So this is an Ampol Precision Product. Basically, Ampols is referring to the Madat polymer. So I will roughly explain about what is Ampols and when we are established. So basically, we established in 1974 and we are owned by Madat Berhad and we located in Bayan Lepas, Penang. So mostly we are known for the rubber products. So basically, customer will come to us and show us some design, some rubber products and also some requirements, specifications, and based on the customer requirements, specifications, we developed and we produce the rubber product part to our customer. So mainly Ampol products is based on general consumer. We have also medical, oil and gas, automotive, and so on. We do also have food and agriculture product range.
Puan,
Yeah,
Nafisa,
yeah.
ada slide ke Puan Nafisa?
Yeah.
Ada slide ke? Minta maaf.
Ada slide.
Ya. Sebab
Ada nampak slide ke?
tak nampak slide, minta maaf.
Kejap ya. Ada nampak?
Ada nampak Puan.
Okay, so masa saya buka macam ni lah. Saya tak boleh buka yang slide macam tu. Kalau macam ni
Okay,
boleh
baik.
nampak ke?
Boleh Puan.
Okay. So saya ulang balik lah.
Okay, baik.
Ampol. sorry. So basically, MPOL is established in 1974. We are wholly owned subsidiary under MARDEC, and we located in Bayan Lepas, Penang. So basically, we are known as the rubber product manufacturer. So customer will come to us given design, requirement and specification, and we develop based on customer requirement and also specification. So basically MPOL product including we have general product, consumer, medical, oil and gas, automotive. We also have for marine, food and agriculture product. So first thing first, I will show you guys before I jump into the rubber processing and also testing. I will show you guys what is MPOL product first. So the first one, we have the master batch, or we call this technical compound. We produce technical compound or master batch to customer. So other customer, we use this compound to produce their end product. For example, the customer requirement is EPDM, hardness 70, and some specification on tensile or elongations. We develop the compound, we do the formulations in MPOL, and we do the master batch. We call here is master batch, and we send out to customer. So the customer will produce end product. For example, used in injection, compression, or extrusions. So we send the semi-finished product to our customer. This is the first we do in MPOL. The second one is this is our main product. This is a finished good product. We are mainly known in rubber tubing, hoses, and also gasket. We have here is wrapping hose tubing. As you can see here, the hoses is being wrapping. For example, it extrude and later on it wrapping. This function of wrapping is for to guide the rubber hose into the compact size, and also we do some pattern on the hoses. So the next one, we also have the foam and also solid gasket. This mainly used for sealing, rubber sealing. And we also have, this is our main product, tubing. We have a various sizes of tubing, various size of hoses. It depends on customer requirement and specifications. The next one, we also have the swimming fins. Basically, MPOL is knowing based on our fin. So we have a two type or two grade of fin in MPOL, which is a diving fin, and also the we have a diving fin and also swimming fin. So this is example the fin that we produce to our customer. Basically, our customer is from overseas. We have US, we have Africa, and we have also Australia. So the design and pattern color is request mainly from our customer. So the next group is rubber molded. This is generally rubber molded that MPOL produce. We have also grommet, exhaust hanger. This is for automotive industry. We do also have the O-ring for rubber sealing, bath mat for consumer, tank trap pad. This is for military. But basically, the tank for Adnan M113. Last one is rubber nozzle. This is for trash lorry for Europe industry. We do have some rubber molded. So I'm sorry, I'm just sharing this type of rubber molded. So we go for the rubber process. So our main agenda today that I've been sharing to you guys, rubber process that involve in MPOL, Penang. So basically this process we have in-house for MPOL in order to produce rubber product. So generally this process is so much likely like others rubber industries, companies or manufacturers. So the first one is we have incoming raw material. Basically for our supplier or vendor, if the incoming raw material is passed with our QA checks, so if we go to our next process is rubber compounding. So rubber compounding, basically we have two type of batch off. Batch off, we call that after compounding. So the sizes or the pattern of the compound of rubber compound depending on the next process that we want to do. So we turn into two. We have a bowel batch off. Basically this one for molding process. And we have also the strip batch off. This is for mainly extrusion and injection process. So after the molding and extrusion injection process, we call this after cure process. We also have the washing, trimming, cutting, jointing. Depends on process that the rubber part going through. So the next one, generally same as other company, we also have the OQA quality check before we pack and send out to our customer. So I'll go first for rubber compounding. So mainly for rubber products, the main things is a very important is rubber compounding, rubber formulations, how you do the formulations, on how you do the process of compounding, the technique of compounding is a very important as product specification, the end product properties. So in rubber industry, rubber compounding is the main what we call main. Hello? Hello?
Ya Puan?
Yeah, Puan.
I'm sorry, my line is quite bad here.
Oh, alright.
Okay, can proceed. So in rubber compounding ampoule, we have basically rubber and chemical weighing sections. So the first thing first, we do the weighing section of rubber. Basically the rubber come from our supplier, come from our vendor in a bale form. So for example, EPDM is in a bale form, NR is in a bale form, basically roughly about 35 kilo per bale. This is a standard weight of bale. So in standard formulation, some we need to use more than 35 kilos, for example 50 kilos. So this is the sections of the rubber being cut. Depends on the standard formulation given from R&D to productions. So we have also here the chemical weighing section. This chemical including the others formulation. For example, we have the accelerator, activator, anti-ozonants, and cross-linker. So based on the formulation given from R&D to productions, so here is the part of where the formulations is being prepared. So we have a rubber and chemical weighing sections. So the next one we have in ampoule is basically needle machines and also two roll mill machines. We don't have a Banbury machine in ampoule, but we have a needle machines. So basically needle machine, we produce the master batch. Master batch is what we call the rubber compound without accelerator and cross-linker. So we produce a master batch in needle machine, basically in a bulk volume, for example 70 kilos in a needle machines. Then after the needle machine process, we go to the two roll mill machine process. These two roll mill machines, we include the second stage. We call it in here is a second stage process that include accelerator and also cross-linker. So after we produce compound in needle machines, master batch, and also the rubber compound including second stage in two roll mill, so it will go to the next process, for example extrusions, injection or compressions. So basically, this is a rubber mixing process that have in Ampol Penang. So as you can see, previous slide I showed that we have two type of batch off, because we have extrusion process and also compression molding process in Ampol. The first one is a strip type of batch off. So basically, this is for extrusion and injection process, because we need to feed the rubber compound into the feeder of injection or feeder of extrusion. So this type of strip is needed for rubber compound batch off if we want to go for extrusion and injection process. As you can see here, we have the anti-tack tank. So after to raw mill, we cut into a strip batch off, then we go into a anti-tack tank, which is for to prevent the rubber compound stacking into each other. So the next one is a bar well. Basically, a bar well batch off is for compression molding process. And you see the rate bar well batch off is depends on the cavity of products we want to produce. So after we go for the compound batch off, before we go to the process extrusion, for example, or compressions, we do next for compound quality check first. So our QA, we do check on the compound before pass to productions. So mainly the compound check is a very important, because here we can trace if the other chemical miss out or over milling. So here the graph we show out of range. So our QA will reject all the compound. So we pass over again to the compounding section. And if the compound is okay, which is checking on hardness, basically, for example, for rubber industry, the tolerance for rubber hardness is plus minus 5 show A. And in a quality check for rubber compound, we do check on Rhometer graph. The standard for spec that we control is for ML, moment lowest. This is for processing curve. So the next one in MH, moment highest, is regarding the hardness. So we can do trace if our MH is lower than our spec, so it will contribute to lower hardness. So we can do some checking, early checking in Rhometer graph. And the next one, we do have a TS2, time scorch 2. This one is very important for extrusion, as the rubber will scorch if TS2 is low within the range that the R&D team given to the QA. So this the product will start to defect, the product to start to scorch, and we can get the smooth surface of extrusion product. So mainly in extrusion process, TS2, TC95, ML is a very important. So the next one, this is basically the any other rubber company being controlled is time cure 95%, which is the product start to cure. So if it's too long, TC95, the product is uncure. So this is mainly being controlled by our QA in-house for the compound or for the rubber quality check, compound quality checks before pass over to the productions. So I will go for our process. In Ampol, we have a molding process, which is I'll go for compression molding process. So in here, in Ampol, we do have injection molding, compression molding process. So I'll be sharing on compression molding. So as you can see here, why I said that for compression molding, we need the bar well batch off. For example, we do exhaust hanger. We do the compression molding process. As you can see here, the bar well, which is the rubber compound cut into sizes. that depends on product size. So, and then the bowel we put in a cavity of the molding, the cavity of mold in the machines, and then we press. Depends on rheometer that we studied before, how long time, how temperatures, and then we'll do the molding, and the finished product part will go out like part. For example, you can see here. So for compression moldings, the bowel size, bowel shape is very important in order to present a shop mold, and also air trap. We can do the rubber strip, we stack together and we put the molding, but it's not advisable as it will trap air in between rubber stacking. So it is most optimum or most suitable to use bowel, solid bowel, depends on actual product size compared to rubber strip we stack together in order to prevent shock mold and also rubber air trap. So I'll share also our main product also is a fin. As you can see here on your left photos is a fin mold. This is basically the fin mold. So this is how on we put the bowel, depends on the design given by our customer. This is we have for this fin, we have a combination. We have a bowel, and also we have a rubber strip. This is for design, depends on customer given. So we have a green strip here and also a long black strip and other bowels being put in the mold. So after the molding process, basically for the fin is roughly about 30 minutes per pair, as the size of the fins is quite big. So this is end finished product. As you can see here, a green strip. We give this pattern for the fin molding products. So next we go for the extrusion process. This is Ampol main products. This is our expertise we do in Ampol. We have extrusions. So mainly we have 5 extrusions in Ampols, various size and various method. So in Ampol, we have 2 type of extrusions. Extrusion curing method. We have liquid curing media. We call in here is LCM method. And we also have the autoclave curing. So basically these curing methods depends on size of products, complexity of the products, and also the thickness of the products. So basically for liquid curing media, we extrude for the thin products and also the small size of ID and OD products. For the autoclave curing method, we do for a very profile extrusion products, very thick extrusion products. So I will go first for the liquid curing media. So we call as LCM. So we call it also as LCM. So as you can see here, for the LCM, we have the extrusion, standard extrusions, and it includes oil bath. So basically all type of we use is fluoro-E, glycol type of oil. So basically for the LCM products, it will simultaneously cure after we extrude. So when we feedings these rubber compounds, and then it will extrude into the conveyor and get into the oil bath tank. So during the in oil bath. So the rubber tubing or rubber product being cured using oil. So that's why we call it a liquid curing media. So liquid is here is referring to the oil. We use oil to cure rubber product. This is different. For example, it's a molding. We use a mold to cure rubber products, and we heat up the mold and the rubber product we cure. For the extrusions, when we extrude the compound, it is uncured. So we need some media to cure the rubber product. For example, we have here is a LCM, use the liquid. So use glycol or fluoro-E oil, type of oil, to cure the rubber. So we have roughly 6 meters oil bath. So during this, it will immerse in oil bath. Indirectly, it will cure. So at the end of this process, we get the cure tubing. As you can see on your right side, you can get the cure tubing. So we have a black and also white. So we can do some other colors like a yellow, greens, white, black, and also other colors, depends on customer requirement. So at the end of this process, this rubber already cured. So we do not have another media to cure the rubber. But the disadvantages of LCM, if we can cure if the product is not too thick, not too big, because we have only 6 meter oil bath. If the product is too thick or too big, the rubber product is uncured at the end of this process. So it will design depend on the size of the rubber tubings that is suitable to use this oil bath. Not all rubber tubing is suitable to be used in oil bath. It depends on the rubber thickness and also rubber size. Also, as you can see here, the rubber tubing is not too big so that it can go and cure into the oil bath. So the next process is the autoclave curing. So basically the extrusion is the same machines. So we can use the extrusion type, extrusion size, or extrusion type of machines is the same, because we'll eat rubber compound, we're feeding into the extrusion and we go into the barrel and then we extrude out. So basically the difference for autoclave curing and LCM curing is LCM, it will produce directly the cure rubber product. However, for the autoclave curing, it will extrude out the uncured tubing. So we need to put this uncured tubing into the autoclave. So you can see here, there is 2 types of tubing I'll show you. One is just roughly put in the a tray, and the next one we need to do we need to put some talcum powder. This difference is because the rubber tubing size. For example, that one is we don't put any powder because of the tubing size is small. So when we put in the autoclave, so the size can stand. What we call this stability of size. We don't the rubber tubing don't collapse. So however, for the big OD size of tubing, we need to put some powder in order to maintain the shape of a rubber tubing. We don't want the rubber tubing to collapse. We want it to be a round shape. We don't want it to be in oval or not in a circle or round shape. So this is a very important method in designing extrusion process of rubber tubing. So autoclave curing is much more difficult or much more complex compared to LCM, because the uncured tubing that we need to treat is very important. So because it is uncured, so it can be the surface can be defects, because it is not flexible, it is not elastic yet, because it is uncured. We don't cure the rubber tubing yet. So the treatment is a very important. So for size that high OD, outer diameter, with ID thin wall, we do need the powder in order to stabilize the size of the tubing. So this is very important. So for the powder, we need to change. Depends on usage of the productions. So the powder also is very important to be monitored. We don't want it to be coagulate to each other. So because of the coagulate powder will affect the surface of the end rubber tubing. So it is very important to monitor the powder, to add in the powder, and also uh, rubber, the uncured rubber tubing. So this is a very important process for autoclave before it go to autoclave. So in Ampol, we have two length of autoclave, two type of autoclave. We have 30 feet and also 60 feet. So mostly the customer we send out is some of 50 feet. We have some 30 feet rubber hoses product that from customer. So mainly this autoclave curing process. So as I mentioned before, we do have after cure process in Ampol. So as you can see here is a cutting process, because some of the end product is quite in small size of length. So we extrude out in a longer length, then we cut in, depends on a customer given specification length. So we have also the cutting process. So we have also the jointing process. This is we extrude out in length, and then we cut, and then we glue it together, and we have some what we call a gasket. We do gasket using extrusion process. We extrude out and then cut, glue, and we got gasket. So this is we can save time, we can save cost. We can do the gasket using molding, but it will take a lot of time, a lot of cost, because one piece of molding we get in a longer time compared with extrude out, we cut and we glue. So it will much save cost. So we do have a washing. Basically, washing process is for LCM extrusion method. So when the rubber immerse in oil bath, so the oil will attach or will in the surface, on the surface of the rubber tubing. So we need to remove the oil from a rubber surface. We do have a washing process. So this is aftercare process in Ampol. We have cutting, jointing, and washing. Also, we do have also washing for autoclave. For example, that I've mentioned before, we do the powder for the uncured rubber process. So after cure, the powder will also attach on the surface of rubber tubing. So the washing process is needed in order to remove this powder on the rubber tubing surface or rubber hoses surface. So this is the in-house quality testing that have in Ampol. We do have the abrasion test. Abrasion test is basically for 10 thread pad because it's in moving products. It's like a tire for a military, for a tank. So abrasion test is quite important. So we also do have the aging test. For example, we have oven. We also have a density test. Density test is very important for the fin. fin development process, because some of fin required by customer, it need to be floating, some need to be non-floating. So as you know that if the rubber compound is below 1, so it will floating. So if the rubber compound, density of rubber compound that we develop with more than 1, so it will it non-floating. So it depends on the fin designed by customers. For example, swimming fins, we need to be floating, some need to be non-floating. So we also have the split test. Basically, the split test is for rubber tubing. Some our rubber tubing is used for air pressure. So we do have some in-house testing. We do split test so the rubber do not burst during the actual application. So we do monitor in-house for rubber tubing. So we also have the rubber tubing in-house quality testing for the end product. We also have the we do check on TB elongation brake tubing. This we use tubing, we cut into a small size, and we just we do some tensile using a rubber tubing. So we monitor the elongation brake for the rubber tubing. So we do have also the stress realization test for rubber tubing. This one is for rubber tubing, not for dumbbell or whatsoever. So basically this rubber tubing EB and stress realization, and also split test for air pressure tubing. So the split test EB and stress realization is a very important for air pressure tubing. So we don't want our product, our air pressure tubing to be burst during the actual application. So we need to monitor these those tests in-house before we send out to our customer. So we do also have the creep test. Basically, the creep test is for exhaust hanger. We hang the actual part, actual exhaust hanger. We hang it and we put it in oven. It depends on customer requirement. We get the customer requirement on the drawing. Basically, all these specifications and this requirement from customer being right on the drawing or during the development. So as you can know that exhaust hanger is being hang between rubber between exhaust and also the body car. So the creep test is very important. So it will include the heat, as the engine also produce heat. So the creep test of exhaust hanger will be put in the oven in depends on customer requirement. For example, like 3 days, 140 degrees. We hang together, and then after hang, for example, 3 days, the jig will come out from exhaust hanger. Then the size of exhaust hanger being checked. For example, if we tend to get longer, or how elastics of the rubber part, the flexibility of the exhaust hanger is quite important. So this creep test, heat creep test, we do for exhaust hanger, basically for automotive industry. So same as other company, we do have the tensometer to check the tensile, tear, elongations, modulus elasticity of rubber compound. So basically this is generally in-house quality testing we have in Ampol. We do have other quality testing that we Ampol develop by its own, depends on customer requirement. So basically this is a standard we followed ASTM in-house quality testing. So I think this just small sharing for me. What is Ampol doing? What is Ampol process and testing we have in-house? So maybe I pass over to our moderator today, Nur Atirah.
Thank you, Puan. Okay. By the way, my name is Nur Fatiha.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. Now we will proceed to Q&A session. If you have any question from participant, you can state in the chat box.
Okay.
Okay, I have my question.
Okay.
What is the main concern of quality control aspect in Ampol production?
What do you mean quality control aspect? In
Um,
process or
in process and in the product.
okay. For example, in process, as I mentioned before, the compound quality is very important. So the first difference in rubber industry, the rheometer pattern is a very important, which is in-house check. This is a first thing before go to the productions. So we do have also the in-process quality check, which is in extrusion, for example. So our QA, we go around the extrusion process, go being checked on the, for example, the speed, the temperatures of the process. This is a running process. So our QA will go to in-process quality check also. We have in-process quality checks. And final one is the before outgoing quality check. So we have three. We have first, we have four actually. First, we have incoming quality checks for raw material we receive. Second one is a compound quality check before we proceed to the extrusion or compression process. The third one is in-process quality check. For example, checking on the temperature of oil bath, temperature of a mold, temperature of a barrel of extrusions. This is in-process quality check. And also we have the outgoing quality check. For example, the jointing check and finish process, for example, the EB tubing splitting check, split test check. This is end product process. Basically, we have four: incoming, in process, compound check, in process check, and also outgoing quality check.
All right, thank you. Okay, participant, if you have any other question, you can state in the chat box.
Okay, Fatiha. I have one question that I want to know on Nafisa.
The sound is not clear.
Sound is not clear.
Uh,
Okay, I have one question.
okay.
When we're looking to the production line, we have a few products.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you clearly.
And then in production line, we have a few products, different type of products, right? So how 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 does Apple control on the on the uh, on the efficiency of the production?
I'm sorry, Puan Aishatan. I couldn't hear you clearly.
Okay, I have one question.
Maybe you can type on chat.
Madam, chat dekat chat box.
Okay.
Before we proceed with Madam Ashatun question, there is one question from chat box. What will Ampol do with the rejected rubber compound?
Okay, basically the rejected rubber compound, we can mixing it back in other rubber compound, but its ratio is quite small. For example, we do the maybe about 10% in back in rubber mixing compound somehow, but rejected rubber compound in Apple we need to scrap up. As you can know, the rubber when we cured or when we rejected rubber compound, it can be used it back. It's a difference from plastic industries. We can melt and we can reuse it back. But in rubber industry, we can't use it rubber compound back. But we do mix in our rubber mixing, but in a small portions, and we need to test it back before we go to the end process. For example, extrusion and compressions. So basically, the rejected rubber compound we need to scrap and we sell to the some vendors. So that's
Alright.
why I mentioned that the rubber compounding is a very important, because rubber we can't reuse it back compared to industries company.
Alright. Okay. Next question is from YouTube stream. Do Ampol really count the precision of a certain product?
Pardon?
Do Ampol really count the precision of a certain product?
Do Ampol do really count precision of certain product?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. We do count the precision of certain product, because sometimes we do it for a sealing. So the precision of size of the dimensions is very important. So we do have the I'm not share the on the QA measurement. Yes, we do have the measurement in process, after process for QA, depends on dimension given by customers. So that is one of our important quality check, which is precision dimension for end product. I'm sorry, I'm not sharing that dimension quality check.
Next question is, what the most important things in a fresh grad that Ampol company want?
Oh, the most important thing. So as we know, the fresh grad is lack of experience. Actually, we just want some student that aggressive, willing to learn on how our process do, on how our standard do. That is enough because we know that I'm also being fresh grad before, so we know that freshie is we know that lack of experience. But if the student willing to learn, is a student aggressive, is quite good enough in our industry actually.
Okay, as SEM SEM 5 student will having a practical industry. Did Ampol take a practical student?
Yes, we do have take a practical students in do in some question and some in QA. Depends on the vacancy at the needed of department at that time. So mostly the practical student will be attached on the R&D department so that you guys can learn more in process when you join the R&D department.
Okay, all right, thank you. The question is from Madam Ashaitun. As noted in production line, Ampol produce different types of product. So how did Ampol control on the efficiency of product activity, of production activity?
So we do control the efficiency of product activities. During the development process, the R&D teams already jot down the time taken. For example, the extrusions. So we do takes for example, we do take 1 meter. So how long it will extrude out. So based on the R&D team department calculations, so for example, we want to do the OD size of 10 mm. It will need, for example, 30 seconds per meter. So the R&D team first will calculate. So how long time will be take, for example, like 50 feet, we take maybe 1 hour. So this calculation is based on R&D team departments, and we do have some system. So R&D team department will key in all the this information, for example, what we call cure time, cycle times during the developments. So we pass out to the production team. So during the mass productions, we have one planner. So this planner will calculate back based on the R&D given time. For example, we have 32 cavities. The cycle time is 30 seconds. So how much day or how much time needed when customer want 10,000 pieces, for example. So this calculation planner will revert back to the R&D calculations. So it will plan based on R&D department team given or develop the rubber compounds. So basically the customer already know that for example that this 10K how many days, so the planner will advise back to the customers. So some we also have some urgency, called urgency order. So the planner and production will prioritize back which one is the priority of product that we need to send out. Depends on planner, and planner will come back to the R&D team that we already developed during the development stage. So the planner will refer the time to produce some product. Okay.
All right, thank you. Is there any question from the participant? All right, Sim, there is no question. Is there anything from you, Puan Nafisa?
You are feel free to come to Ampol later. I think it is easy to see on your own how our process is compared to I show in a slide. So we are welcome UNIMEP student to Ampol.
Madam Ashaitun, do you want to talk anything? All right, no.
No. I think I just want to say thank you very much to Puan Nafisa for this speaker, for this webinar. I think maybe we will invite you again, inshallah.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Do we have any question, right? You have other question, right?
Alright, there is one question from chat box before we end this session. The student is from chemical industrial course. Just now, he see the list of the work at the Ampol, and he noticed that the worker are from polymer course. So I think he want to ask if he from the other course, not from polymer course, there is if
Opportunity.
yes
Okay, we do have some our workers is from a chemistry background. So yes, you still have the opportunity to work with Ampol if you are a chemistry background, as long as you are not far away from chemical or far away from chemistry. Yes, we do have chemistry background workers. We have in the production. Also, we have chemistry industry background. We also have the compounding section. We have the head of compounding section and the head of production section. Both are from chemical industry background. So yes, you have the opportunity to work with Ampol.
Alright, thank you. Thank you, Nafisa. Okay, seems there is no any question from the participant. So I just would like to say thank you very much to Puan Nafisa for the informative and interesting talk.
Mhm. Okay, thank you so much to UNIMAP, also to Puan Aisyatun, also to Nur Fatihah for inviting me
Um,
to this webinar talk for UNIMAP students. Thank you so
alright,
much.
thank you. Alright, now to all the participants, we take a break for 5 minutes before we proceed to the next speaker. Right.
Thank you.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good morning everybody. Okay, now we continue our industrial webinar for today morning. Alright. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nur Fatihah binti Uthman and I will be your moderator for today. I am student diploma in polymer technology from UiTM Perlis. Okay, now I welcome to our next speakers for today morning, Encik Muhammad Firdaus bin Ibrahim. Okay, let me read the background of Encik Muhammad Firdaus. Encik Muhammad Firdaus worked as experienced head of product and process material in automotive and manufacturing industry, specialized in industrialization and development of new process and product with considering the competitive advantage based on business alignment, leading a dynamic material engineering team via leadership, strategic planning and strong network. As we know, Encik Muhammad Firdaus bin Ibrahim is our UiTM Perlis alumni. So, alright, Encik Firdaus, you can present the topic of manufacturing process and testing in tires right now.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Can everybody hear my voice or see my face?
Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Before I start, I would like to say to hear hi from everybody, just to ensure no one is sleeping.
Hi.
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 Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. 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 Good. Okay. Assalamualaikum. And very good morning. Wish to you all, especially Madam Shetun, my former lecturer. And then thank to moderator and fellow students. So it is 11 o'clock right now. So should we proceed to the presentation? Also, before that, may I know who is the participant? Because just now I heard is someone from there are some from Unimap, if not mistaken, and someone from UiTM, right? Okay. Okay, so everybody can see my screen?
Yes, sir. I can.
Okay. So I would like to assume this session is like a more santai session, not too heavy, because tire industry is a heavy industry, but I want to make it light today. Okay. So again, thanks for inviting me for this session. I really appreciate to again to see all the student faces and then the lecturers, and then it's like a historical moment because I came from UiTM. So after 6 years, I think 8 years, I come back to this session. Okay, let's go. Okay, first of all, I would like to introduce about myself first. So you need to know some about me. So okay, so I was born on 8 December 1989. So this year already 32. So yeah, not clear. Yes, yes.
Tak nampak slide.
Okay, sorry. Hmm. How to share the slide? Okay, present now.
Yeah, present now.
Okay, your entire screen.
Yeah.
Okay, how about now? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it's presenting.
Okay, presenting.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I'm not really familiar with Google Meet. So normally I'm used to use Google Microsoft Team. Okay. So now I guess everybody can view my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So first of all about me. So my name is Muhammad Firdaus bin Ibrahim. Okay, this is my face. Same, right? Okay. Okay. A little bit about my personal background. So I was born on 1989. So I'm 32 years old right now. So I'm living in Ipoh, Perak. Anybody from Perak? Perakian? Raise
Me.
your hand. Okay, good. See you. And then currently I'm living in Shah Alam, Selangor. So I'm married people. I'm married guy. I'm not available. Just joking. Okay. A bit on education. So my secondary school is in MRSM Jelebu Negeri Sembilan, and then I continue my study in MRSM Muar Johor, and then I got offer in polymer technology diploma in UiTM Perlis in 2010, and then I further my study, continue my degree in bachelor degrees in polymer technology in UiTM Shah Alam, and graduated on 2012. So this is my interest, my hobby. So I used to be a active student during my study. Lot I love to join most of outdoor activity, hiking, kayakings, and then after jump into the career, so it's a bit busy. So quite busy with traveling. So I quite sometimes traveling to overseas and then to the locals for meeting and workshop purpose. So now more at home to stay at family due to the pandemic issue. Okay, and then some international experience. So I went to Germany a few times, Hanover, Cobalt, Berlin, and then France at Metz region, Slovakia. I was there 1 month in Slovakia at Pukov. It's a very cold country, no Muslim at all. I'm just the only one Muslim there. So 1 month is a good experience there. And then I take the chance to go to Czech Republic. So most of the travel due to the business purpose, plan technical exchange, and then also for study. Okay, so this is my career experience. So I started my diploma in 2010.